So what we want to do is want to play the original pushback that Bob Myers had on Stephen A. Smith on live TV, and then we're going to come back and continue on. Take a listen to that there.
And the Celtics are on top, right? And anytime you're on top, people used to come at Curry and Durant, and they'd come at you in the media, they'd come at you on the street. And the point is, and Josh knows this, what matters is your locker room, the fabric of that locker room and what they can withstand. And that's why, not because that Knicks fabric, you guys had that this year. But it is hard to find, man. We tear teams apart more than we ever have. Maybe on purpose, maybe not. Maybe that guy down there, maybe.
Not me.
I don't know. Maybe.
Not
you
me.
might.
That's social media.
That's somebody else. I thought it was you for a second there. But we do this. We attack teams, and especially when you're supposedly the best team. That's the team we come out the hardest, and that's what kids do.
Hey.
He's trying to make it. Break it up.
Hey. Wasn't me. Eddie Murphy.
You heard the exchange. Fantastic. Now, what happened? Apparently, Paul George has been, amongst the analysts for the NBA Finals. I was surprised to see him there, but anyway, he was there. And there was a particular point where Stephen A. Smith was talking about various stars, and then he tried to openly disrespect Kawhi Leonard in front of Paul George, who's his teammate, by basically saying Paul George wishes he could have a healthy star around him. And then Bob Myers got annoyed with Stephen A. Smith. Maybe we can put up a still of it, because towards the very end, he kind of like shakes his head and looks the other way like, man, what's wrong with this guy? And he goes, this is the thing I'm talking about. And even Paul George says, don't do that. Don't do that. So what we want to do now is want to play this clip for you. It's only about 20 seconds or so. I want you guys to listen to it carefully. We may put up a still for you guys to see it, because we can't show you the clip because we don't own the rights to it. And then we'll come back and really get into this. Take a listen to this there.
To his stuff.
Nobody on the planet knows what it's like to play without a star than Paul George. I'll leave it at that.
Don't do that.
Nobody knows.
Don't do that.
This is what he does.
Don't do that. This is what
Nobody knows.
You know what? Much more of this coming up on NBA Countdown. Kevin Nagandi, we need a break. Please take it away.
So you heard what Bob Myers had to say. Let me tell you what I thought was interesting about his comments. Prior to Bob Myers pointing that out, I had never thought about it, but it gave me an insight into some of the things and some of the conversations that are had within organizations based off of the things that are being said in the public, being said on TV and big media and all of that. And he's essentially saying, look, these comments that you continuously make are meant to divide people. One of the big questions, and some people even accuse us of it, is, hey, who's the better player between Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum? People like, don't do this. And then even Jason Tatum had to put out the comments saying, look, I understand that people are trying to divide us. I think he was referring to some comments that what's his name, that Jason Kidd made, the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, right? And then even Drew Holiday was like, he's been playing. So there's this thing that exists within locker rooms, and I think Bob Myers got to know. Now, what surprised me was that he would take that shot at Kawhi as if in front of Paul George, as if to say, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean to not have your star around you, as if expecting Paul George to say, yeah, man, I really understand. If Paul George, for example, had agreed with Stephen A. Smith in any capacity, it would have been damaging for the relationship between Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, because Paul George should always be loyal to his teammate, not to a media personality, because these are your brothers. These are the guys that you go into the foxhole with. These are the guys that you're playing with on a daily basis. These are the guys that you're competing with. But nevertheless, it didn't stop him from doing that. So when Bob Myers said you're doing this what you're doing promotes negativity, in that particular instance, I understood what he meant. So the question now becomes, is Stephen A. Smith the only one that does this? Is he really? I don't think he is.